Unfortunately, I did not realize that at the back of, like, from the audience, questions would not be heard here. Like, I didn't,
Really? Oh.
so I did not, like, I thought it would work. So it's in anywhere. I can't hear the questions.
That was intense.
Yeah, that was a lot of different views. A lot of different views which I like.
Yeah, 4 minutes was a
yeah.
long time to talk for the team. So.
Yeah, I mean, some of them went overboard, but I give it to them because we don't have more time. Anyway, like your question, I asked everybody because I think it's a really good question.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to give extra speaking time to those two because I wanted to win.
Yeah, I know.
That's really
Alright, where are the sophomores? Can we post or bump it or something? Hey, Mel. Good.
Huh? She wants to run. She's a junior.
Yeah, where is she?
She's not here yet. Oh, now it's sophomore.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, okay. Julia?
Where's everybody? So, it's the live stream. I guess the school.
I am very shocked. Very proud of it. One time he said something and Coca-Cola has to start after that I was just yeah. You didn't watch out the phone.
I just got one guy. I don't know any of these platforms.
Lex, can you please remove the process? Thank you.
You did good, Lex.
So thank you for being here. We have two candidates, and first up we have Joseph.
Hi guys, great to see you all here. A lot of people have been asking me in the last few days on why I wanted to come to Glasgow, and I think we spent more than 1 year with each other already, and so I decided to keep it short. There's 3 main points that I just want to say. First, I just want to say that I really want to make Sadia our home this year. It's a new semester, we're in a new place, there's a new class, everything is new. And I really want to make it the best it can possibly be for us to start off on a great start. Currently, I'm serving as the Director of Communications on Inter-Residence Hall Council Executive Board, and I believe that if I'm elected class rep, this would help both parties a lot. I think it's really important, especially in the transitioning semester, for us to have a continuity, for us to have healthy relationships between these two very important bodies. And I believe that with experience on Inter-Residence Hall Council, and if I'm given a class rep position, I'll be able to represent you guys, but also ensure that the students will receive the best possible service that they deserve from both organizations. Second one is really about our class, us. I'm aware that this is the last semester that we have as a class for a long time until we come back together in senior year. And I really want to make it one that we'll remember, something that we'll look back to. And when we're studying abroad or we're staying here next semester, that we'll remember the times which we enjoyed together. And I had the great privilege of working on the first year programming committee with James Gardner last year, former class rep. And we had the opportunity to make a lot of events for you guys, like first year socials, tea parties, and also the Dow quiz, which was a favorite of the year for many of us. And I just want to do that, something like that, and just step it up this year to make it something that we'll really remember. And finally, my last point is that I just want to be class rep because I guess that would formalize the work that I'm kind of already doing. I ranked class rep last year, but before I even did that, I had made a decision that I will contribute to the community whatever means possible, whether that's participating in SIGs, in student government committees, doing internships, or just being there for people when they need it. And I've done that for the whole last year, and I just really hope that I'll have the opportunity to serve you guys on a high level with class rep this year. I do frankly believe that if you've got the right purpose and the right motive, no matter what position the community is, you'll be able to make a positive difference. And this year, I just hope that you guys will be able to support me and make this dream possible. Thank you very much.
Next up,
there are truths we hold to be self-evident, that all students are created equal, that they are endowed by this administration with certain inalienable rights, and that amongst these are life, liberty, and freedom. Yes. And that is the true genius of NYUAB's sophomore class. Go to any of the main residential halls and folks will tell you that we cannot achieve without someone raising our expectations. And that someone is this class. Hope in the face of uncertainty, the audacity of hope. In the end, that is this class's greatest gift to us all. It is the bedrock of this university. Alongside our famous individualism, there is another ingredient which goes into forming this sophomore class. Belief that we are all connected as one people. If there is a student in someone's fifth floor lounge that cannot read, that matters to me, even if it is not myself. It makes my life poorer, even if it is not my life. If there's a class member who is rounded up without right to an attorney, that is a threat on my own civil liberty. It is that fundamental belief that I am my brother's keeper, I am my sister's keeper, that makes this university work. It's what allows us to pursue our individual dreams and yet still come together as one united sophomore class. E pluribus unum. From many one. Now, even as we speak, there are those who want to divide us. I say to them, there is no liberal NYU, no conservative NYU, no black, no white, no Latino, no Asian, no Arab NYU. There is the United States of NYU. The opposition likes to slice and dice our university into red states and blue states. The red states for Josephian and the blue states for Yahudian. But I have we've got some avid readers in the red states and some hardcore console enthusiasts in the blue states. We coach squash in the blue states, and yes, we've got some great dancers in the red states. There are patriots who supported the 21 field plan, and there are patriots who supported the 20-meal week. We are one people, all of us pledging allegiance to the iconic purple in our flag and the white torch it bears. All of us defending the United States of NYUAB. NYUAB sophomores remain as the one indispensable class. This university needs a strong sophomore class, and it is stronger now more than ever. And that is why it is time to let our unity shine bright for the combined strengths of each individual and their idiosyncrasies. A representative thus doesn't take the action he sees as correct, but brings the myriad of our class's ideas to the student government. As long as I am the sophomore class representative, Iran will not get us nuclear weapons. I will have the strongest coalition with threats and the strongest sanctions against Iran in this university's history. Wow. Now, we've been through tough times, but we always bounce back because of our character, because we pull together. If I have the privilege of being your class representative for this year, I promise you I will always listen to your voices. I will fight for your families, and I will work, sometimes every week, to make sure the sophomore class continues to be the greatest in this universe. Liberty, freedom, democracy, the American dream, the pursuit of happiness. Martin Luther King.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Ahmed. So my first question would be, sophomore are mostly over the place where they look for big words and empty promises. We all know each other well and what most candidates have been doing for our class. So my question is, why should I trust you, and what track record can you prove your sincerity and dedication? And the person specifically asked that there's no empty words or no empty words in the answer. Thank you. So,
Well, I mean, like, no big empty words. I really just care. Those of you who know me know that whether we're on an internship together, on a trip to Dubai together, or just hanging out in class, that I really care for you guys. And that, in my first year when I came here, you guys were my only friends, my only family, and I really want to give back to you guys. I've been working in IRHC since last year, and we've come to this campus and there are so many things that we wanted to change, and we started to get this changes done. People have been talking about washing machines, and I'm glad to say that we're already working on that. Washing machines from A6A and from A1 will soon be moved to A5 and A2 where they're we've begun the process of ordering storage lockers and what students are using in summer. And just with my past involvement in the first year programming committee, listener, and just being there for people when they need it. I think, yeah, that's why, because I care about you guys. My track record, I guess, it's for you to decide.
So the reason I took this job is pretty much the same as yours. I really do care about this class, and I know I joke around a lot, but that's really because that helps me get over actually having to express it. But that's why I try to bring you guys in, have you guys tell me what you want, and I'll bring that forward. As for a track record, of course, I haven't worked as closely as Joseph with UW, and my first semester, as you guys know, was a bit lazy, to say the least. But I've since picked up pace, and I started working with Lex on the GEI project, the Global Enrichment Initiative, and that's really brought me in contact with a lot of the administration members, and I've learned a lot about dealing with certain issues because the bureaucracy is terrible at this. This is something I really want to start working with. I really want to start making a connection between the student body in our class and the administration, and have that be a very quick and easy access tool for all of us.
Well, one question specifically addressed to Ahmed, that it might resemble your answer to this question, which is what concrete experience can you bring to the table as sophomore class rep?
So, concrete experience, as Anthony Downs said, voters can be split into peasants and bankers, right? Peasants look at the retrospective and thus make some weird guesses about the future. Bankers look towards the future. They look at what they have now in the present and look what that will provide. My track record is maybe not as decorated as it should be, but I do have certain things like the GEI on my record that now will allow me to do.
My next question would be, what is the biggest challenge facing student on campus, and how do you plan to fix it? Who would like to start?
I think the biggest challenge for students at this right now is the fact that everything is new. Like our president everyone said in one of the speeches, like we come and we realize that probably not everything is completed yet, and there's a lot of things that we need to work on together. And I think really it's not really a lot of huge big things, but it's a lot of small things which we make this campus feel more like a campus and feel more like home. And whether that's things regarding the use of the rooms, the new facilities that we have, or the way the residence halls are working, I think it's just a lot of small things which combine. We need to smooth out some rough edges.
Thank you.
So I do agree with Joseph that this is a new experience and campus, it's very difficult to get involved with it very quickly or as fast as we want to. But I think really the biggest problem, as I said before, is the gap between administration and student problem. And that really prevents us from moving forward. I mean, there's a lot of issues that the administration hasn't been very transparent about, and I hope to work with them on making that public. Issues regarding health, especially in this university, because I don't know how many people know this, there's only one counselor at the entire university, and health officer. It's terrible, like mental health university. And then there's a problem with getting simple budget things through to the administration. I've seen a lot of that recently. All I really want to do by being on student government is help close that gap so we can implement the changes that you and Joseph.
That's all the question I have right now. Do you have any other questions for them?
In my experience in the classroom last year, one of the hardest things that I found was actually when you have to have those really difficult conversations, for example, with study abroad, and you are directly opposing a notion by say senior administration, and that's terrifying. I was wondering, for both of you, what do you bring to the table, not in terms of concrete experience just towards the role, but in terms of negotiation and having those difficult conversations? Maybe is there an example where you've had to oppose something that was perhaps the unpopular option amongst your peers, or in a certain situation that you might share, just to give us a bit of a sense of how you would navigate the situation?
So in terms of senior administration, I've been talking about budgets a lot with them, and they are horrible. They are horrible people. Everything is just a strict no as soon as possible, and that can be terrifying. But over the past few months, I've really been working with it, and just learning how to talk to them is going to help me get to it. And that can apply to senior administration members and students who may even be opposed. If you learn how to talk, how to create a platform for a real discussion, a real conversation, that will help these things along much, much faster.
Thank you. Is there any other question?
Sorry. I think the most important thing we have to have in this conversation is just realize that, quite frankly, we all come from different backgrounds, including the people who work in staff. It's important to understand their point of view, and once you do, you can try to find some common ground on which to work and express the voice which you have given the responsibility to represent. I think that when you're able to approach difficult issues calmly, but with the assurance that things will eventually work out, I think that goes a big way. Just your entire team.
Thank you, and I'm sorry, I have one more question here, and this is the last question that I can ask because due to time limitation. What do you think is your biggest disadvantage compared with the other candidate, and why are you still a better option for us to vote for?
Well, I think this is an extremely unfair question. This is a voted question. You look at that last part of it, and I think we should. It can only lead to like terrible.
If both candidates agree to not answer this question, then I'll move on. So now that's okay.
Can I ask how you would bridge the gap between MRT students and other students, because obviously that's the past. And I just want to know what advantage would be in better connecting MRT students with our community and connecting that community. And that's what I think.
So it is definitely a problem that we face at this university, but it's not a problem that hasn't seen a lot of progress. I mean, you have Pamela representing that group, and you have a lot more integrations and projects. And you saw a lot of reach out, from both sides, especially with Arabic programs. The people who were willing to, ask each other for help or contact each other became friends, or at least formed some sort of social. And just being able to speak to both sides and knowing that there is an initiative on both sides to bridge that gap will help a lot. Will go a very long way in actually bridging that gap. And the remainder of it is really just having a lot of events that are really exclusive to certain fields or that bring together both, both cultures will help everyone come together and find a completely universal agenda.
I agree with what Ahmed said here. This is an issue that we have to deal with, and it's an issue that we need to progress on. But it's also an issue that we can't really, that one person can't solve. It has to come something from the whole class here that's good. And having the privilege to have worked on the first year programming committee last year, we were fortunate enough to have Abdullah and Ahlan on our committee, and it was really good because we were able to start connecting with them on a really high level. When we were designing programs, we were able to keep in mind both groups of students, and consider them less as both groups, but as just one group with different backgrounds. And so I think programming will be very important this year, especially. We need to make use of the time which has been given to us. We only have one semester left. It's a class before we go for. And I think just keep that in mind, and just remembering that our friends and the people we meet in our year will probably remain like lifelong friends.
Thank you. And with that, I'd like to end the forum for the sophomore class rep elections. Thank you all for being here. Can I have a few minutes?
Yes, yeah, President.
Oh shit!
Maverick for president.
Okay.
Friends for president.
So, can I get everybody's attention? No. I don't want to keep us any longer, and I'll jump straight to it. You have 4 minutes to present your speech, and during Q&A, you have try to keep your answer to within 1 minute. And first up, we'll have Maverick, please.
So, I mean, I don't really have much to say other than the fact that as junior class representative, I will be here for none of but be here to do most for the absentees and help them push forward their ideas in student government and make sure their voices are heard and help them realize what they want.
And can I have Maurice?
Well, hello everyone, and juniors abroad watching this. So I feel like most of you know me. If you've read my platform, you might have been this is because I noticed at the very last minute that nobody had applied yet, and that is like one of the main things that I focus on this semester. And that's trying to make the students more involved with student government. I feel like most of the information that we get comes from the GAs, but I don't know what how committees in this school are doing, and definitely don't have much information, much many ways of getting feedback from the student body to those committees or groups that are interested. Some of the experience that I'm bringing to the table is campus-like facilities. Some of you may know I've been setting up events the past 2 years, so that I think that gives me an advantage in interacting with people and programming in general.
Hey, I'm Kaya. Thank you all for being here tonight. So when I first came to NYU, I would never have ever been running for class. The whole thing was too intimidating for me, and I couldn't have it. But I feel with time I've grown more comfortable and I've grown more connected to my classmates. I feel they've helped me grow so many different ways, and I therefore feel like I owe so much to my classmates. I want to give back to them, and I want to make our first semester here in Abu Dhabi in Taziyat as memorable as possible. Also, because there's not many of us juniors here in Abu Dhabi, I want to keep the junior spirit alive and to make those the juniors abroad feel as included as possible. And also, a lot of us are thinking about what we're going to graduate. So I really want to focus on helping familiarize the students with the graduation, post-graduation, help them to grad school applications, job applications. And one way of doing this, maybe we could connect with the students that graduated last year, and since the whole experience is very fresh for them, so they could guide us and support us through the whole process. I promise to meet the needs of the junior class to the best of my capabilities and keep this community alive. Thank you.
So my first question would be that with most of the junior class being away, but we still have some junior students on campus right now, what do you think are the biggest issue facing the junior class, and how do you plan to fix it?
So I guess this ties back into involvement of the government, also in a wider sense the administration. So as some of you may know, the school has recently acquired software called IDCL, which is kind of what the student government is going to use to bridge that gap that we've seen before. And although I'm hoping that this will work, it's definitely something that will take effort to establish in a good way, and especially with most of the juniors being involved, that would be a great way of getting those people involved, which seems very hard currently.
Yeah, I think another important issue that we can do is that women
Maverick, can you speak a bit louder?
Oh yeah, so another issue we're facing in class is that the government will be going back for the semester. So an issue would be keeping that determined body as long as the current
Yeah, I agree with Maverick. I think one of the issues they experience, they don't know what they're getting into. So, like, as we have regular Skype sessions with them, keep them updated on what's on campus, and address the issues.
Thank you. My next question would be that, so when the junior class return, most of them would have not known the sophomore class and the freshman class. And considering that these two classes are going to be substantially bigger in a very large campus, what are your plans to integrate your class into the larger student body?
We can help like organize different gatherings and events that can help get the classes more together. We can also help support the relationship program, which is
I think like more was answer very similar questions, and so I think we got some answers from that. Recurring events seem like a good idea. I mean, we've seen open mic pretty successful in the past, and that's something that a lot of people from different classes have participated in. encourage these kind of similar types of events.
I think these are really good ideas. Encouraging, well, I think another good way to actually encourage interaction between the junior and the sophomore classes is actually with the implement some sort of, again, goals to the program, as well as perhaps have like tutors that are actually run by freshmen in order to encourage interaction.
My next question would be some of the biggest issues that the previous senior class faced with job shot and capstone. And what are your plans to ensure that the problems that the previous senior faced do not happen again to your class?
Well, I think the issue is mostly one of the communication, as we've seen before. It's hard to know, in my opinion, what the administration is thinking when they saw new policies. And I feel like if we manage to get more students involved, we might have a stronger voice to be heard and get changes that we agree on.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I mentioned before, we should connect with those that are evaluated. And maybe we could have like inspire
But I think what is key here is communication, not only with the class that's graduated, but the current senior class, in order to have, let's say, two different types of perspectives. One, the graduate class really has most of the found jobs for the research for graduate program, and the current class, which is looking for to really get a better perspective as to what the personality of the current class.
Thank you. And this is my last question, which is considering that it's your class last year on campus, what sort of activities do you plan? What ideas do you have for your class to make the best use?
So I think one of the main issues here is that maybe it's like isolated. So maybe we have more outings of plans, and those but maybe share activities. Yeah, just spend more time together and have regular.
Patrick and Murray, would you like to?
So I think one thing that would be good to get is some student feedback on what sort of events they would actually like to see. And what I haven't really seen is things like intervals. I've never seen one. And I think that would be a good idea. And I mean, there are definitely a lot of events that are organized, but both with the way that they're marketed to the students, and so sort of like type of events that are run, I feel like it's something that many people necessarily want to go to.
So is there any question from the audience? Yuchi?
If you have two words that you have at the point here, you define the word and approve the budget. What are the first two words that what are the two criteria that you think are more most important when you're approving the process?
So, yeah, to us? Well, I think fairness and efficiency. So some people have mentioned that it's important getting budget across, so that's definitely efficiency. But we also don't want to see like sudden saves or sort of whatever getting sort of shut down because we're trying to restrict the budget in certain areas. And so that's what that is.
Well, that's a two-word answer. I would say the communal side, in the sense that really the budget should be allowed portion to people who
Yeah, so maybe and also maybe
Andrew?
So being class representative involves doing a lot of different things and wearing a lot of different hats. So just dealing with administration, dealing with the student body, programming and whatnot. What sort of concrete experience do you have with these different aspects of the class position? Concrete evidence would be preferred.
Before you answer, please speak a bit louder so that the computer can capture your voice.
Well, as I've mentioned before, campus life facilities, which is now student life, and so that's definitely given me, like I said, a way to interact with people in a sort of professional setting, and not only students but also people who are running events, which might be administration or faculty. Additionally, some of you may have used NYU Vote, which I'm programming along with Dave and Vote. And so it's definitely the sort of thing that I could bring to the student like experience where they may be able to like, build software that helps
as for company experience here, I would say being vice captain of the cooking team is amongst the company experience. It involves, I would say similar roles in the sense that it's really working between students and faculty in the sense of like coaches, planners, etc. Before university, I was in National Honor Society, which required discussing with talking counselors, principals, organizing lots of fundraisers, events, volunteer events. So that's pretty much it.
for me, I was a board member and had and there was also, I was also part of the event planning committee last week with the class, and yeah, we also very.
So, is there any more questions from the audience? If there is no more question, I would like to move to close to the end of the junior class rep elections forum, and that is the end of the forum for this year's class rep election. Before we end, I'd like to thank Hassan and Julia for making the forum possible, and thank you all for being here.
We would like to thank Juan as well.
Can you help me log out for me?
Huh?
Can you help me log out of the?
Yeah. Sure.
Thanks, because I
I
don't
will
want
log
to
off,
keep you
yeah.
longer.
Just a second.
Alright.